Hey Squaddies, good morning, good afternoon or good evening from wherever you are watching from. Welcome back to Daily Diaries Friday. This community is built on love, support and positivity, and I'm so grateful that you're a part of it. If you love the Sussexes, you're in the right place. From their royal roots to their independent path, we cover the latest news, heartwarming moments, and exciting updates with a positive touch. Let's explore their journey together. Subscribe now. Let's keep growing together, keep shining, and keep lifting each other up. Remember to subscribe, like, share, and share your thoughts and insights. Thank you for being the heart of Daily Diaries Friday. Today I have an interesting video, so stay tuned, Squaddies, and let's dive in. For several months, we were told repeatedly that we should not expect the Princess of Wales to have any kind of normal schedule for the foreseeable future, that she was completely rethinking how she works, and that she would probably never make regular public appearances for months or even years. I genuinely believed all those briefings, too, because Kensington Palace has long been in the habit of setting the lowest possible expectations for Kate's work ethic. It seemed clear that they were preparing everyone for another one of Kate's extended disappearances, where she goes completely off the radar for months at a time and then suddenly resurfaces for some PR stunt that accomplishes nothing of real substance. And yet, as if by magic, Kate is suddenly back in action. And what changed? Meghan Sussex rejoined Instagram, launched a new Netflix project, and announced a new podcast. That was apparently enough to light a fire under the Middleton Windsor PR machine. Now suddenly Kate is everywhere. If anything, it feels like we've seen more of her in early 2025 than we did during the first several years of her so-called working royal tenure. It's remarkable how quickly she can spring into action when she and William feel their relevance slipping away. All of which brings us to the latest absurdity. Kate actually had to work on a weekend. It's happened before, of course, though rarely. Every once in a while, the poor sausage is forced to endure a weekend engagement, usually some sporting event where she can sit in a VIP box and clap with her carefully practiced, exaggerated enthusiasm. This time it was the Six Nations rugby game between England and Wales. And because these two can never just attend a simple event without squeezing in a half-hearted engagement to boost their PR, they also met with some injured players involved with the Welsh Rugby Charitable Trust. This was Kate's second trip to Wales in March alone, which is funny because we were just told she would be scaling back her appearances. But when Meghan is making headlines, suddenly Kate's schedule opens up. It's also transparent. She and William last attended a Six Nations game in 2023. These engagements are part of their dueling patronages, with Kate representing the Rugby Football Union and William representing the Welsh Rugby Union. It's yet another example of how their entire public-facing dynamic is built on competition rather than collaboration. As for Kate's ensemble, I don't have an official ID, but I'd be willing to bet that the coat is another bespoke McQueen piece. It just has that look. Overpriced, custom-made, and ultimately unremarkable. I did see Hello Magazine claim she was wearing black, but I think her coat and turtleneck are actually dark navy. Her leather gloves were certainly black. This has become Kate's go-to uniform. A light knit turtleneck paired with a long, heavy coat. It's meant to project effortless elegance, but at this point it just feels uninspired. A different color, a different silhouette. Something with a bit of personality. No, of course not. The goal is always to appear polished but completely devoid of originality or individuality. Meanwhile, let's talk about Meghan, because she's actually doing something interesting and meaningful with her platform. Meghan recently rejoined Instagram, a move that was met with excitement rather than the kind of PR desperation that usually follows a Kate sighting. But Meghan isn't just showing up in a nice coat, she's making real moves. She's launching a new podcast, a new Netflix show, and continuing her philanthropic efforts, all while maintaining a level of grace and professionalism that the other side of the family can never seem to muster. Unlike Kate, who needs an entire PR machine to tell the world how hard-working and dedicated she is, despite years of evidence to the contrary. Meghan simply gets on with it. She doesn't need to be coddled or have expectations lowered on her behalf. She left the royal family and built an independent life, and she did it without clinging to outdated traditions or meaningless titles. Her projects have real substance. She's not just turning up at a rugby match to pose for photos. She's using her platform to amplify important conversations, whether it's about female empowerment, mental health, or social justice. The contrast between the two women couldn't be starker. Kate continues to coast on the same formula: sporadic appearances, vague promises about big projects that never materialize, and endless press coverage that tries to convince the public that she's some kind of hard-working royal asset. Meghan, on the other hand, is actually building something. She's producing content, engaging with people, and creating a meaningful impact outside of the suffocating confines of the royal institution. And let's not forget William, the man who is supposedly the future King of England, yet still struggles to display even a modicum of charisma or genuine leadership. He shows up to these events with his usual air of forced enthusiasm, standing beside Kate in another carefully curated display of unity. But the reality is, they don't inspire, they don't innovate, they don't lead, they simply exist within the system, doing the bare minimum while expecting praise for it. What's truly ironic is that William and Kate had the perfect opportunity to modernize the monarchy, to bring in a fresh approach that could appeal to younger generations. Instead, they've chosen to stick with the same outdated PR tactics, rigid appearances, uninspired fashion choices, and performative engagements that add nothing of real value. Meanwhile, Meghan and Harry have done what William and Kate never could: stepped away from the institution and actually built something of their own. So while Kate and William continue their transparent attempts to stay relevant, Meghan is thriving on her own terms. And that, more than anything, is what truly unsettles them. No amount of McQueen coats or forced weekend engagements can change the fact that Meghan represents the kind of modernity and independence that the royal family will never truly embrace. And that's the real reason we're suddenly seeing so much of Kate. It's not about duty, it's not about service, it's about competition. The only time Kate steps up her schedule is when Meghan is making waves. The pattern is undeniable. And yet, despite all their efforts, the truth remains. Meghan doesn't need the crown, the palace, or the endless PR machine to remain relevant. She's doing that all on her own. And that, in the end, is what truly sets her apart. And that's a wrap, squaddies. Thanks for watching and being part of this amazing journey. You guys are the best and I love you all. Your support means the world to me. If you had a good time, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you're the first to catch our next adventure. Drop your thoughts, questions, or even just a quick hello in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Share this with your friends, your family, or anyone who could use a little inspiration. Until next time, stay awesome, stay motivated, stay safe, and keep shining. Catch you later, squaddies.